Let's put this out there. That. Every time a relationship ends, it's not always the man. There's plenty of women out here doing that they're ashamed
Absolutely.
of. I had nothing to do with them 10 relationships that you was in before we got in a relationship. You done brought all of them heartbreaks, insecurities, issues, mental, emotional, and physical abuse into this brand new relationship. Now I'm on the receiving end of all of this that them 10 dudes done did to you. So you should be ashamed of yourself.
There you go.
Don't put it on me.
It's amazing how when a relationship ends or when something fails, it's always the other person's fault. It's always the other person's fault. It's never what I did for it not to work. What I chose not to do, what I chose not to sacrifice, what I chose not to compromise with my partner on for it to work. Now, granted, there are things in relationships that are just a no-go. Like there are just some things you just cannot overlook. However, Tyrese is 100% correct. There are things in relationships that women do, men too, but that women do that they are ashamed of and should be ashamed of, but then still blame on another person. It's plenty of interviews and plenty of people that you can even talk to. I talk to people every day. And somehow we end up on topics of relationships and how my relationship and my marriage didn't work. I've never been married, so I try to stay away from that conversation with a lot of people because I can't give you advice as far as marriage. I wouldn't know. But I also seek that advice from those around me who have been married. But getting back to what I was initially speaking on, what we cannot do is continue to blame the other person, because I'll speak to a lot of people and it's always, well, they didn't do this and they didn't do that. Well, yeah, she didn't do this for me and she didn't do that for me. No, I didn't ask you what they didn't do in a relationship. I asked you what you didn't do in your relationship for it to work. Because it's easy to point the finger and blame someone else. It's almost like if someone asks you, what are your flaws? And you say it's almost like you get asked, what are some of your flaws? You say some foolishness like, I love too hard. Loving too hard is not a flaw. Having strong love is not a flaw. It only becomes a flaw and a crutch when you use it as an excuse. Many people in the world love hard. They love justly, but they're not being overbearing with the love. So I think that, it's very unfortunate that men and women, this isn't just me saying it towards women, but this is what this video was towards. Men and women both bring baggage from different relationships. And then they allow what they went through in the previous relationships to dictate how they're going to do their relationship at that moment in time, which is fine. There are good and bad in those instances. However, always take the good. You can remember the bad, but don't let that be what dictates and moves your relationship. And that's whether you're actually in a relationship or even a friendship. Friendships die too. It's not just you being in an intimate relationship with someone that you care about and find yourself attracted to. Even friendships end up failing. So, I mean, it's the video is very self-explanatory, but let me know what you think in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe.